Welcome back to Frequency Matters, the industry update brought to you by Microwave Journal and sponsored by Mini Circuits. My name is David Vai.
And I'm Pat Hindle, and we have a third guest today.
We're joined by Kristen Anderson. Give a little wave, and we'll give a lengthier introduction to Kristen and her responsibilities with the journal. We're going to talk about some changes to Frequency Matters and Microwave Journal. Actually, to start off with, I've got some rather big news. After 7 years with Microwave Journal, I'll be stepping down from the position as editor and taking a new position with ANSYS as the business development manager. So kind of an exciting opportunity for me, a sad occasion for the journal, but we will carry on. So that means obviously a few changes for Frequency Matters and Microwave Journal itself. So we thought we'd take the opportunity in Frequency Matters this time to kind of talk about some of those changes. One of them, of course, is we're joined by a guest. So
yes, so we plan on doing a little bit different and mixing it up. We'll have some guests, different people from the Microwave Journal staff will be coming on the show from time to time. We'll have some outside experts and industry analysts who come on the show and give us a different perspective. So we still will cover the same topics and content, but we'll have some different people attending various times.
Sounds good. So we do spend about a third of this program talking about events, either online or live, and that is actually one of Kristen's main areas of responsibility. So Kristen, why don't you take some time and explain yourself and your history with the journal and the industry and what you do?
I'll keep it brief.
Okay.
I've enjoyed being a member of the Microwave Journal trade shows team since 1997, where I've really enjoyed some close communication with exhibitors and delegates alike. But you'll always find me at the European Microwave Week show and the MTTS International Microwave Symposium, and I do some background work for the EDICon show as well. And obviously closely related to live events like trade shows is webinars. So I manage our webinar schedule, both those that we host and those that we sponsor for other companies.
Great. What kind of webinars do we have coming out this month?
Well, September really kicks off the academic year with a lot of interesting and educational topics. I'm going to have to read some of them for you. Agilent is offering two. One on advanced model for GaN and gas HEMTs using nonlinear VNA measurements, and another on validation and maintenance of satellite Earth stations. Mini Circuits is sponsoring and presenting on two different webinars. One, accelerating custom test solutions, and another on a guide, it's a Besser webinar on a guide to RF components for aerospace and defense. And then on the device side, Peregrine's exploring their Ultra CMOS technology with a look at delivering intelligent integration with their silicon on sapphire CMOS technology. And then National Instruments and Cree team up to look at practical simulation and design of broadband GaN RF power amplifiers.
People might not realize this, but during the webinars, you are in the background making sure that it all runs smooth and scheduling all this. So you've been very humble, but you play a critical role in the smooth operations of our webinars, and we'll continue to do that. In addition to that, you also are heavily involved in supporting EDICon from the back side of it. So maybe you can talk about some of the updates to what's going on with that event in China.
Sure. We're excited about taking on some exhibitors from past years coming back, like Radial and Peregrine Semiconductor. But also we've got some new companies that have recently signed up, like Spinner. And also a Beijing company called Mesh Communications. So we look forward to what they're putting out.
Speaking with Spinner, we're getting critical mass now in the cable connector industry. So in addition to Spinner, there's Gore, Radial, as you mentioned, Huber Sooner, Times Microwave, and Mitron. So really nice representation on the cable connector side to go along with the semiconductor people, the test and measurement folks, and the software people who are part of the exhibition. And then we'd expect content for them in the conference. So we just had a press release too,
Yeah, so we just ran a press release about Focus Microwave. They announced that they'll be expanding their presence at EDICon. So they're expanding their booth presence, and they'll also be doing a workshop. So they're in conjunction with their partners Ferron and Sino Microwave, and they'll be giving a workshop about their solutions for low pole. They have automated low pole tuners, and they also do on-wafer noise and low pole integrated measurements.
Okay, sounds good. Any other show events, news that you'd like to update us on?
Well, I know that I saw recently that TMD has launched a new range of ultra high power pulsed traveling wave tube amplifiers. It's a mouthful, but I'm sure they're going to be featuring that next week at the EMC show in North Carolina.
Okay, yeah, the EMC show is important for the software and test guys and the high power. Obviously the TWT talks to that market. So we'll have some presence down there with some Microwave Journal folks. I know Delcross is going to be exhibiting there, and I just met with those folks this week, kind of as a follow-on to our cover story in July, which they were featured in on interoperability. And they're pretty interesting. They develop EM software for RF co-site interference, installed antenna performance simulation, and complex radar signature analysis. So they partner with CST and other EM folks to kind of take the results of those 3D EM products and then combine them into a much larger EM thing. So maybe solving the antenna patterns on an entire ship or an airplane. They can kind of stitch that together. So interesting technology for them. If you're going to EMC, please check out Delcross. If we go back to EDICon, I just want to touch on some stuff. You mentioned the workshop by Focus. Where are we at with the conference?
Yeah, so on the conference side, the call papers has been out for a little while now. Keep in mind the abstracts are due by October 31st. So go to ediconchina.com and submit your abstract. We cover topics that are RF and microwave, EMC, EMI, and also high-speed digital. So definitely go there and check out the website and see if they can get some papers submitted.
There's also an exciting development that we're exploring in the development of EDICon, and that is to incorporate, to really expand it. We had a lot of 5G talk at the keynotes last year, and a lot of the exhibitors that are participating, the high-level sponsors, are very much engaged in kind of speccing out and kind of getting their heads wrapped around what will be the physical layer of 5G definition. Right. So we're exploring that as having like a summit within the EDICon thing, and so a lot of 5G and possibly the Internet of Things as a topic or series of tracks, content. So
speaking of 5G, I just saw a news item that Agilent just had a 5G summit in Beijing, and they teamed up with the Mobile Communications Forum for Future Technology. So they explored different 5G solutions. They explored reducing power consumption by a huge amount, network virtualization, radio regulation and frequency resource management, millimeter wave, massive MIMO, it's also a topic we've seen, and also non-orthogonal types of modulation techniques. And so, yeah, we do see this as an important and growing area, so we'll dedicate an entire day's worth of sessions at EDICon next year to that topic. Yeah,
so it'd be nice to see the technical program expand to include a very hot topic.
And these are very interesting things going on with millimeter waves propagate, and they've been doing some channel modeling and show that that's really a viable solution for 5G.
Okay, great. So moving past EDICon, Kristen, you have anything else on the upcoming event front?
Yeah, European Microwave Week is looming, and the registration is open for delegates to choose their courses, and also exhibitors and visitors should be ordering their badges by now. We have the usual lineup of great companies exhibiting at this year's show, but we also have 32 new companies exhibiting. So we're excited about companies like Adamant, Worth Electronic, Intech Microwaves, MPI Corporation, and American Standard Circuits, all new exhibitors this year.
Okay, great. And being in Rome, there's a very tie-in to, there's a lot of radar activity, and certainly the September issue is the European Microwave Week issue. We'll focus on what's happening at that event. We'll tip our hat to Marconi, and the father of wireless. And so that sounds good, and I think we'll pretty much wrap it up. My leaving the Journal on Frequency Matters is a little bit of a sad occasion for me, but I do look forward to kind of being back in industry and working closely with the team at Microwave Journal. They've allowed me to stay on as a consulting editor, and I hope to kind of take the perspective that I get out in the field and bring it back, and hopefully be working with some interesting clients that are doing wireless stuff that will provide editorial content in the future. Perhaps maybe I can line up some guest speakers on Frequency Matters. Maybe I'll be invited as a guest.
I'm sure.
That would be great. So I'm sure the Journal's 58-year tradition as a leading source of microwave information will continue under the leadership of the team in place, and in Kristen's participation on Frequency Matters, and Carl Sheffers as publisher. So for me, I'm signing off. This is David Vai.
I'm Kristen Anderson. Thank you for watching.
Yep, and I'd like to thank David for his leadership in the last 7 years. Many people may not know, but he's been the driving force between many different new initiatives that we've done. You really started our webinar program many years ago that's expanded into our complete online training courses. You also were behind the Microwave Journal China initiative. So 3 years ago, we started Microwave Journal China magazine, and that's grown to 10,000 readers. And finally, you are what I call the father of EDICon. So you really developed that model, which I think is a benefit to both industry and attendees. It's tying the exhibition closely with the session. So I think it's a great new way of looking at trade shows, and we hope to build on what you started here at the Journal.
I hope so.
And, I'm sure I'll continue to fill in, and if any partnerships or things we have going on, I'm going to be able to step right in and handle those for everybody. So.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So that takes it us for this episode. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Mini Circuits. You can find out more about their products at minicircuits.com. We thank everybody for watching. Join us next time for Frequency Matters.